You don't have a voice. You're gagging yourself as Muslims. If you're not going to vote, why are you standing there? Either ask us a question, tell us why you're not voting. Have you verified that, bruv? Because I've got sheikhs lined up telling us that it's not haram. And if you can help your people socially and politically, because I don't buy the argument of shirk. How can it be shirk? How are you going to change things if you don't engage? How did he do it? What are you going to do? Bruv, this is Islam. This is your Islam. I want to empower my ummah. Get me a sheikh to prove to me that democracy is haram and voting is haram in an election where we have a voice.
We're basically trying to teach the Muslims here that they need to get politically active. If that means voting intelligently, they need to do it. If that means joining a political party, they need to do it. Whatever it takes, they need to get politically active to defend their rights in this country or anywhere around the world. They're telling you that you can't do anything, that you have no power, that you're nothing. And that's what you believe. And so you do nothing, and you stay at home, and you think to yourselves there's nothing we can do. They're so powerful, we can't make a difference. People, you want the BNP to get into power? You stay at home and don't vote in the elections. That's what you did in the last election. That's what you're going to do in this election. Right. And when they close this mosque down, then don't cry, don't complain, don't start rioting. The standard question that Muslims always ask is, well, okay, fine, I listen to you, I'm going to get political, who do you want me to vote for? And it's a difficult question to answer. What really needs to happen is that they need to get political and understand that politics is important.
Ask yourself, if every single Muslim in this country disengaged and we silenced ourselves, what kind of political clout are we going to have? If you haven't got a Muslim representative in our districts, in our boroughs, in our schools as governors, we cannot make a difference. We cannot change the system. We can cry about it. If you want to change the system, you want to change this country, get involved and you see if it works. Don't be so short-sighted unless you're afraid. And you tell me as Muslims if you're afraid. Are you afraid? No. Right. Are you afraid? I want to hear the Ummah speak for once. No. Are we going to take it on ourselves, inshallah, to inspire our brothers and sisters?
Ameen.
You know what the biggest killer of Islam in this country will be? Is ignorance. It's our own ignorance. It's the fact that we spend all our time fighting over the little things that separate us, rather than all the big things that unite us. We don't focus on issues because we're too busy focusing on our own politics. Break yourself out of your little hole.
We must unite.
Inshallah.
Muslims must unite.
The BNP is not about white and black and white and Asian. They have a very fixed remit. It's to silence the Muslims. They say we don't care, we want Sikhs and we want Hindus and we want black people. What we don't want is Muslims, which means they have separated you out. So if they've separated you out, it's now your obligation to stand up and say, you know what, I can do this without you. We are powerful enough an entity. We have more Muslims in this country than there are BNP supporters. We can shut them up in 5 minutes if only we weren't too cowardly or too lazy or misguided. But let me put it to you this way. If 300 racists live in a district and 1,000 Muslims live in that district, 280 of the racists voted, only 240 of the Muslims voted. That racist party came into power. Who's to blame? Us.
A lot of my boys here, they live around here, but they didn't vote last year.
Inshallah ta'ala, man, we'll make a change together.
You did a great job, man. You did a great job. Oh, look at you, Salman Akum. You did a brilliant job, all right? If every Muslim was intelligent as that young girl, we wouldn't have any problems. We wouldn't even be here. Well done. You're the future.
Well, the crowds have dispersed, the mosque is empty, and we made our statement. It might have started off a little bit slow and a little bit lonely, but I think we inspired the people. And as I always say, if you're going to change the world, you have to start one person at a time. And if I've inspired 100, who can inspire 1,000, who can inspire 1,000,000, then I've done my job.
Any Muslim who doesn't vote, who stays at home, or even says that it's wrong to vote, it will be on their heads when the next war happens. It's on their heads when they close these mosques down and burn these mosques to the ground. They should be ashamed of themselves. The only way in this country that we're ever going to get our rights and maintain our rights is to get political. There's no other way at all.
When you're a target of a bully, you notice the bully that much more. Everyone else doesn't call him a bully. They see it here and there. But with us, we're feeling the brunt of it. And we're going to get the brunt of it if they come into power. It's going to be like the persecution of the Jews all over again. This is a reminder to us of what Nazism is all about and what fascism truly means. Sometimes, through rhetoric, we forget the dangers that Nazism and fascism bring to society as a whole and to future generations and to the people who are chosen to be the victims of them. As Muslims and as people, we need to remember and we need to unite. against the problems of the past to avoid them happening again. Remember, history only repeats itself when the people allow it to be repeated. We stood up to it before, and I think we need to stand up to it again. If we don't stand united, we could be witnessing another one of these and having another memorial statue go up, and then it would be our fault. You decide. But you know what, on a serious tip though, I think the message that we're trying to get across here is very, very important, is the fact that we can make a difference and we're choosing not to. And the thing is, we've ignored the fact long enough, and we did ask the question, and the reason we asked the question, are we to blame, is to make us wake up, to make us ask ourselves what we can do to change things and how hard it is for us to do so. Let's face it, getting out and putting a tick on a box isn't going to be the end of the world for us. It might take 5 minutes, it might take an hour, even if it takes a day. In a day we can make a change that our ancestors fought for, righted for, and people all over the world are still dying for. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an advocate for democracy. I'm an advocate for taking part in the system within which you live. And if we're going to make a change in this country, for the better of this country and for the people of this country, then I think we have to get up and stop being lazy and realise that if we can make a change, then it's our responsibility to do it. And the onus falls upon us. We can't be relying on the world to fix our problems or the government to fix our problems until we first fix the government.